Well, didn't see it, eh? Thomas Edwards, me. So a bit of a factual TE interlude here. Now, if you're Cumbrian like myself, this is everyday life. But if you're towny or you live in the urban industry of England and you don't see this every day, I was right underneath the M6 southbound, just south of Shap. But I wasn't just under it. Where I'm stood now, I'm in the middle of it. Visitors are forbidden to climb on walls. No, so if you can't read out there, you can climb on them, but if you can, you're not allowed. I think that's what that means. No, he's out. No, he's never in. You can never catch the goat, you know. I think he's out acting the goat. So just having a look there. So when King Henry VIII fell out with the Pope, you know, and he fell out big time, but he shut all these monasteries down. And if I remember my history right, I think a lot of them were destroyed and set fire to, and he went away in his own sort of anger and whatever, and made his own church, which is the Church of England. You know, and all these great buildings are lost. So, but it wasn't a great loss, because all that rubble, I think this is a TE theory, I think this is, that farmhouse over there, it's quite a grand farmhouse. It's a big one for its time. It's got little outbuildings. It might have been extended later on in its life, but I reckon some of the stone in that farm is old stone from this church. And if it has some of those stones in that farm from this church, and I know that farm, from reading, was built on the old infirmary for this place, I reckon it will have a few spirits in it and a few ghosts. So I think a few things will go bump in the night in there. I don't know if the occupants experience anything at the moment, but I reckon if you put someone who's deceptive, you know, who picks up on certain things, I know some of the T family pick up on certain things when they sleep in certain buildings. I reckon that's got some talking walls in it and a few squeaky floorboards. Pretty amazing that, but it's built that. But I reckon it's you know, because you know the tale, the monks are always lurking in the night. You know, you always see a hooded figure, and it's usually a monk. So we'll best go before it goes dark, before we start seeing things. So we've come from the abbey over there, Shap Abbey, to the curator's house, or should I say maybe caretaker's house, where you'd come when it was still a paid business, and they put a lot of money into our British heritage, what they don't seem to do anymore for some strange reason. And this has been for sale recently, but there's a sold sign, so someone's bought it. You know, it's wood clad. It looks like it might have a bit of blue asbestos hiding underneath that wood clad. But what's the real crying shame is, it's a lovely building. If you buy it, you'd have to reclad that and redo it. But the crying shame is, they this is a TE theory as well. What happens in this part of the world, well, any part of the world I should say, is it will get knocked down and its footprint will make a huge, humongous house for the wealthy man of today's generation, what's probably made his money in selling phone cases on Amazon. That's probably what will happen with that. But it might be the very rare person who will reclad it and use it how it is as his holiday home, but highly, highly doubt that. But you can, we'll have a mooch because it's got no curtains in it, so you can look inside. And it's got like a 70s chimney on it with his aerial. There's a door here, but there's more doors as well. There's the caretaker, looks like he had his kids here because there's some pandas on the wall in there, some baby pandas and a mother panda. And a little yellow room. That's his, it looks like the master bedroom here with a fitted cupboard in it, and he's still got his mattress in it, but just think you wake up in the morning and you look at that over there across the fields. It's a good view, isn't it, that, from your bedroom? So you can keep a good eye on it. So you can wake up in the morning and not see a big lightning strike struck it and knocked it down. Oh, didn't see you there. He's got another little window there, and in here there's a dressing table in here. It's missing its mirror, of course, but there's a dressing table in there. It's all it's got like 70s sort of pale colours, like pale blue in there. A really old doors, looks like there's a little boiler room there or something. This one's frosty, it's probably got the toilet in that one, would have thought. And then here has a kitchen with very 70s, 80s, maybe possibly 90s sort of worktop on it. And lino floors. I think Lionel Richie laid them. Watch that there, there's a falling in grid in there. And then there's this here, what's like a big porch main door thing on the side, but it's got an amazing glass end on it, that rocks, that does. It's amazing. So it's something you'd find in like Sweden, a big glass end on it. Oh, people pay for a fortune nowadays to have a big glass end like that. Looks like no one's lived in it for a long, long time. There's a lot of mail in there. They even got a Hazy's garden centre book in there. It used to be T's local garden centre, that. I think that everyone always says you can always tell a lot about a person by reading the mail. Well, that's why detectives always go for the bins to see what they can find. And it's got actually the door on this side is actually very 1930s, 1940s style door. So it's been here a lot of years, this place. That's the front room now, with the fireplace in it. And look, there's a grand piano in there. Never noticed that before. When we had a look before, it's got a piano. It's not a grand piano, it's an upright piano. And many a tune's been played on that on a wintry night when it's blowing a gale outside. And one day you get round the piano TE. And now we're back to the front, it's got two gates. That one's got a pulley system on with rocks so the gate can shut, so no livestock will get in. It will just shut behind you. I think we'll get back home, have some tea now, because TE's hungry. And we'll get back to Caravan, I think. Just shut that gate behind you when you come out. Alright, thank you very much. Oh, didn't see you there. It's Thomas Edward. Welcome to the Thomas Edwards caravan for the week. So it's quite a posh caravan. The last time I stayed in a static caravan, it wasn't as posh as this. It's a super duper one, and this is the lounge cum bedroom. This bit pulls out into the bed. They used to be a lot bigger than this, the bedrooms. They've changed them a bit, and they used to have a fake wall, so you could have this bit as a bedroom at night. You could have private, but now it's more of a living room than a bedroom, because I think they advertise it more as like a four berther than a six. So in there, underneath there, there's a pull out bed. And you get TV up, modern, stuff, but we went even more modern because T here needs the internet, so we brought our Wi-Fi box with us and plugged it in around the back. And then all this week we've been loads of flies, so we've been going whacking a bed of flies, because it's been so warm. They find the inside of the van a lot better than the outside of the van. And then you get your fire, you get all your books and your DVDs. Been watching, the other night I was watching, I don't know what it is now, I was watching Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. And then that's your view out there down onto the pods and the, what they call the wigwams, teepees, that kind of tent sort of style. And something else we'll take you down and show you down there. It's quite good. And that just looks down into the bottom of the loons down there somewhere. And at night time you can hear the motorway and you can hear the West Coast Main Line coming past. You can actually see, I think, the West Coast Main Line. For me, I can see a railway line. Unless that's the old line what went to Sedbergh from Low Gill. That could be that line actually. West Coast Line's probably just behind that hill, because it sort of curves off and goes round to Kendal. And then we had next door neighbours who's got a pod and a caravan, so we're not alone up here. There's a pod through there you probably just see, and then just to the left, when we walk past the door, there's another caravan. And then you have a kitchen with a big fridge and a big cooker and a big sink. It's all mod cons, as you'd say, and even microwave. A few sheep and a massive Ferguson as your tea tray. And you get a big kettle as well. So it's all super duper. Your boiler's in there. Didn't need it, only really needed it for hot water. I reckon at winter it'd probably be quite warm because the shower was red hot. But you didn't need it because it was too warm. And then in here, a showbiz shower. Toilet and sink, and you get a shower with a little shelf on it. It's quite, he uses the tea ring, I like little shelves. He's got a little shelf on it. And like showbiz edging on it. Just needs to have bits of gold on it, and it'd be rock in America. And then with a pull across the glass screen, little cupboards. Yeah. Oh yeah, cupboards down here. Underneath, actually, spare bog roll in there. And also it has it's a TE flush test. Nice and quiet, doesn't wake up the people that sleeping next door when you go in at night. And then here, this has been the TE suites in here. And I had two little beds and I was sleeping on this one here, and then I had all my tech on here. Unfortunately, the only disadvantage of this room is that plug's too high. And some of my devices don't have a long enough lead to go in that, so I had to use a lead in the kitchen. Not a lead, a plug in the kitchen. So that was a bit of a disadvantage. You've got a radiator, wardrobe. And there's these two little cupboards, and then I've had that window permanently open. It's shut now, but I've had it open, and you get a view down onto the farm, cars down there. Pretty good, I liked it as a room, dead nice. And then this one's the master's bedroom up here. Where it looks like a queen size double, because it's quite a small double. And this is really good. It's got loads of cupboards in it, lots of plugs. This room's got more plugs than anyone. And then you get even better view down at the farm. You can probably just see, you can actually come here, you can see Noel down there. There's Noel, the cheapest MG ZR down there at the end of the bridge. And I think that's about it for the TE tour of the caravan. Now let's go and show you the site and where you can go and get a few nibbles at night time. And it's I as we've been calling it as a family, it's the smaller version of Jeremy Clarkson's Diddley Squat Shed. So let's go and have a look at that. And then outside, it's not just you get a big van, you get quite a big garden. That's next door's Caravan, by the way, up there. So you get slightly overlooked, but you don't get overlooked. It's only if you're in the garden, but no, you get a nice view at night here, and you get a nice sunset, and you get a nice moon up there, and you get a barbecue, a fire pit, sitting out there with a bench. Around the corner there's a bit of bird feeders. You know, you get all the, and there's a doggy finger, what you screw in and you tie your dog to, you know, in there. So you get, you know, and it is, might add, it is dog friendly, so that's comes as a package. It's got an outside sink, do your scrub-a-dub-dub with tea, and even more of a scrub-a-dub-dub if you have a dog. You can do even more scrub-a-dub-dub with tea. You know, it's got a bit of a shower head there, and you put your dog in your... It's all good stuff, that is, you know. You can't beat scrub-a-dub-dub. So wherever tea goes, you've got to have a scrub-a-dub-dub, because it makes the world go round. Oh, there's a bullet Mustang here. They don't see many of them about. You know, it's styled. It's like a, what's it called? A homage to the original film, The Bullet. You know, Steve McQueen with a first-gen Mustang. You know, this is like the new version of it. So it's got like sort of period-looking wheels, same sort of colour, and it says Bullet on the back. This for a big TE fan out there. I think he does Tilly Up North on YouTube. You know, I was a big fan. Now this is Binary on here. It blew his head up. He came to visit TE the other day, and this blew him up. Look, noughts and crosses. Oh, 0 wins. I'm on Central Carlisle today, you know, just south of Carlisle. We're at Lavby station. I've never been here. I've been here before to an ostrich farm, but I've never been to the station. And I think it's a bit of steam coming up today, going up Central Carlisle, and then it'll come back down later. And it's actually stopping here to take on water, but it's not taking on water in like a water tower. They've actually, West Coast Railways have hired in a big Scania Arctic with a big water tanker on the back. We're going to go and look at it because it's dead interesting. Oh, this small station with this big water tank what they've backed up and sort of parked it in, so they'll run a piper to put water in the engine. And I think the engine's going to be Princess Elizabeth, but I'm not sure. I'm just guessing on that. wasn't Princess Elizabeth. And this big tanker here is waiting to fill it up, and he didn't stop, he just carried on, so he was either running late so he didn't need it, so he just ploughed on through. Now this lad here in his Scania, he's going to Gateshead now, apparently he's going over to North East. So, oh, it's a shame, I wanted to see an engine get filled up by one of them. We would have come in nicely for another TV video, but look, he's off. Water tanker's gone home. Well, he's actually gone north east now to fill something else. But in that shed there behind me is even more intriguing to the TE brain. In that shed is a wedding car hire, and it's got 4 Rolls Royces sleeping inside of it with sheets over. And one of them looks very similar to Max Bygrave's first Rolls Royce. Not the colour, but the spec of it is very similar to his first Rolls Royce. I'm going to look through the back window and try and give you a better shot. This is who they are, Cars of Distinction, Vintage and Wedding Car Hire. That's his phone number, so if you got a wedding up here, get in touch. Got some nice motors. So I think we'll go back, we're heading back home anyway today, but we'll go back via Howgills to catch that coming back at 20 to 4. But we'll kind of serious bashing going on here. We're going to catch that, and then after it, not long after, about 20 minutes after, for half an hour, an HST goes back. So we get a two bashes for the price of one. That's what's going to go and happen. So let's go back. Just a Howgills, just a bit up from Kirby Stephen. And no nice big waterfall here, but it's a bit dry today because we've had lots of dry weather. But we've come up to Howgills because that steam engine we saw early on is going back south, but it's climbing up. And I think we might be out here and it's coming up there, but there's quite a few bashes about. And I was just making friends of our relations in Japan. They've come to see a bit of steam, and they're currently in the long grass. Watching with the bashes. It's quite exciting. Let's go and have a look, see what's happening. Nice miniature. There's a Mayfair. So it's coming up the bank. It's climbing up there. But over there, you can see there's like loads of bashes with cameras all running down now. But there's some heads of all Japanese at the middle of it. It's great. See, if they actually just stopped to look at the waterfall, but we were telling them about steam coming, and there's only 2 nations in the world that are into steam, and it's the Brits and the Japanese. So here you go, he done well there. This will make their holiday. This will. I would have got a better spot with a tripod, but it's jumped on us a bit quick, and we were just brewing up. But let's be quiet and listen to a bit of steam. I think there's a Cobra, but I think it's a Cobra replica coming, and it's yellow. Oh no, there's a Land Cruiser coming first. Oh dear, this is not too many cars. Is it coming? Oh yeah, it's coming. It could be a proper one, I don't know. Look at that, 2 for the price of 1, you get a 75 as well. Oh. That was more exciting, the 75 of the Cobra. So we've just watched Tornado go through, but we're waiting actually now for a 125, you know, a high-speed train, a HST. It's going to come up. It's not long coming. About 1/4 it comes past, and but the thing is, there's a few bashes stayed around it through, but there's a different breed turned up now of a diesel enthusiast, so it's a totally different ball game. And if you'd like to know more about the different breeds of bashes, because there isn't just one, there's a whole host of them, drop a comment below and you know, tell me you want to hear that video, and I'll do a video and tell you what it takes to be a basher, what you need, you know, gear wise, and where the best spots are, you know, just what you have to do, is to what dedication to being a bashing's all about, you know. And bashing, you know, as the word, is more diesel related, but but for steam they do bashing, but it's a different sort of, there's different languages. But drop me a comment if you'd like to see that. And I'm going to not watch it here this time. I'm going to walk down to the bridge, maybe go in that field there and watch it, but we'll have to be quick. Oh yeah, and there was a Mini here before. Well, I had a Hubnut sticker in there. No, there's another showbiz guy on YouTube. He knows all his catchphrases with Mrs. Hubnut and all his Hubnut stuff. Oh, and he had his sticker in the back of this lad's Mini, you know. He's real showbiz, you know, doing that. TE will be in the back of people's windows soon with me with my thumbs up. It's coming. We need to go and see what it's doing. It's coming. But we've got to be quiet though. There's a few bashes in there. I tell you what, one thing about bashing is, once the trains have disappeared, they come out the wood like, you know, like woodworms. You know, they come in. There's a guy coming out of there. He's been right down there. There's all behind camera, been up on the fell and just walked off. They all, you don't know where they're hiding, and then they all come back and they're like, oh, that's where you've been with your camera. And there's 2 guys down. Oh look, he's coming out there. But there's 2 guys down there on the bridge who stood next to us then, and they've got into a very interesting conversation in aviation. So Paul Osborne on the T channel will be interested in that, but it was too much for me. I had to walk away. I couldn't listen to anything there. They were talking about new planes look too boring, and like they were on about new trains are too boring, and like locomotives and old and planes and old planes. But that was too much for the T brain to cope with. I had to come away from that. But here, this is it's valley right down to Cumbrian. There's the Malistan Valley. That's Malistan there, that big sort of fell up there. But then there's another fell on the other side here. It's the Wild Boar Fell. It's a big sort of landmark for Howgills, where this is here. And this, just a bit up there is Howgills Summit. The steam engine, what we saw first, the Tornado, that's been climbing for almost 40 miles from Carlisle all the way up here. And if you're on steam, you're not necessarily diesel, but on steam, the fireman, when he gets to here, he's glad of it, because he's been doing that all the way from Carlisle to here to get it up the hill, up the bank. and then it's all downhill across the ridge of the Pennines, and then it will drop down eventually into Leeds. And that HST I just went past was actually the driver we actually know from many moons ago, being a member of the Class 58 group and many other Class 58 and Class 56 group. It was Gordon Ogden who was driving that HST, and he when we first knew him, he was working for DRS, Direct Rail Services, what does all nuclear trains on coast. But now he's sacked that off, and he's doing sort of all the specials up in diesels and that. But he's a man of many jobs, and I think he's got more jobs than Steve Jobs, and that's saying something. Oh, well, I'm home. It's a few days later since we came back from the Thomas Edward TE staycation. You know, hope you've enjoyed these 2 parts of lots of things, everything what makes the TE brain buzz. And if you've enjoyed these 2-parters, you want to see more, I know people keep saying more please, you know, and keep it regular content. Make sure you give us a like, maybe share it to your friends, maybe try that one, share it to your friends, give me a big fat comment, subscribe, we're nearly up to 1,000, and remember to click that big bell. Ding!